Shiur is dedicated to Nishmas Rachalei Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. We have been discussing the Isser Drabanan of Amir La'akum. It seems, at least from my perspective, it's been a very, very long time since I've recorded a shiur, so I'm not 100% sure where we're up to, but I do recall very well that we've been discussing a very important siman in Shulchan Aruch, a sif in Shulchan Aruch. This is siman Shin Zayin Halacha Hey, where the Mechaber paskins as follows: Davar she'eino melacha. If you have an activity that's not a melacha, ve'eino also asos v'Shabbos el mishum shvus. It's only aser midirabanan on Shabbos. It's not an iser doraisa. So in that scenario, muter li Yisrael lomer la'eino Yehudi la'asos b'Shabbos. You're allowed to ask a Gentile to do an iser derabanan for you on Shabbos, as long as you satisfy one of a number of different conditions. V'hu sheyesha miktsas choli, either there is illness involved, or there's a real bona fide tzorech involved, or if it is a case of mitzvah. The main focus that you find in the Gemaras and Rishonim is the case of mitzvah. And the Mechaber gives a couple of examples of a case where an Issa Drabanan, in order to fulfill a mitzvah, we allowed to straight up ask a guy to help you out. Kate said, Omi Yisrael and Yehudi b'Shabbos lalos be'ilan lahavi shofar litkoat kiyas mitzvah, or lahavi mayim derech chotzer shel ervo lechotz min bo hamitztair. He says a person's allowed to, let's say, for example, it's Rosh Hashanah, the shofar is up on a tree, so climbing a tree on Shabbos or on Yontif is Nesur Drabanan. To ask a guy to grab the tree, to climb the tree, to get up and get the shofar, that would be mutter because Amir La'akum on an Isser Drabanan. If you have the shofar in a place that you can't access because it's an Isser of carrying midrabanan, or you need water and it's in a chatzah that is not me'urav, and you're mitztair, that's another case. If the shofar is in a place that you can't carry on a drabanan level, so you can ask a guy to bring it, once again, that's an isser drabanan l'tzorach mitzvah. If you have a lot of, you're dehydrating, you're mitztair from thirst, and the water is in a place that you can't access because of carrying midrabanan, so once again, the Shulchan Aruch says that's going to be mutter to ask a guy, no problem, because that's called miksas choli, that's called a bit of illness, and the illness is matir the iser derabanan of Amir La'akum in a case where the akum is himself only performing a din derabanan, an iser derabanan. This is the concept that we've already discussed at length, is shvus de shvus b'makom mitzvah. If you have a double derabanan, a double shvus, you're so far removed from the din doraisa. Amir La'akum itself is an iser derabanan, and the akum is doing something. If you did, it would also only be asim drabanan. Plus, is a makom mitzvah or some other kind of tzorech, either choli or other tzorech harbe. So that would be permissible. If you take a look at the Mishnah Berurah over here, so the Mishnah Berurah just makes an important comment, and what I want to work on today is this din of getting help from an akum in the case of choli. So the Mishnah Berurah says, Sifkat and Chav Aleph, miksas choli. So if you're talking about a miksas choli, not talking about a bona fide illness, something that's very, very serious, rather, because if ilu becholi mamish hakol el kol haguf, if you're talking about a full-blown illness, not a chola sheish bo sakana. That's not what we mean. If it's a chola sheish bo sakana, so then even a Yisrael can do. If you're talking about a choli that is a real bona fide choli, what we call chola she'ein bo sakana. Okay, what's the definition of chola she'ein bo sakana? So this is found in the Shulchan Aruch in Siman Shin Chav Ches. Two basic definitions: either nechla kol gufo, your entire body is ill, is sick, is in pain, discomfort, or you're nofel mishkav. If you have to lie down because of the illness, you can't function in a normal way. That's called a real chola. That's called chola she'ein bo sakana. And there we'll have a discussion today. What are the dinim in that situation? Here we're not even talking about that. To a mixas choli, not even a chola. There's nothing, it's not so serious, but you have some illness, you have some serious discomfort, some meaningful discomfort. In that case, you're allowed to ask a Gentile to violate Isurei D'Rabbanan. What exactly is the din when it comes to a case where you have a real bona fide choli, where there's where the Yisrael is a chole she Ein bo sakana, he's really sick, so then already, as we'll see in a moment, then you have even more leniency. So we have this situation, again, of a shvus de shvus b'makom mitzvah, and again, there's makom mitzvah, there's makom miksas choli, and of course, there is the example of a mitztair. Now, one thing it's important, just want to point out, is that what the Mishnah Berurah then goes on to say is, as we mentioned in a prior shiur, we're very wary of comparing d'Rabbanans. We don't want to go ahead in general, ein medam and shvusin, so you have to be a little bit careful in this area. You also need shilas, what's called tzorech harbe, what's considered to be a significant tzorech, what level of choli are we talking about? So these are specific shilas that we'll have to explore. But today I want to work on the din of, what is the din when it comes to, you have a chola she'ein bo sakana in the house, and again it's a very fascinating lumdish idea which will touch on a lot of Hilchot Shabbat notions that we've discussed. What is the halacha when you have a chola she'ein bo sakana in the house? Are you allowed to ask a Gentile to do melacha for you in order to help that chola she'ein bo sakana? This shiur today will touch on chola issues, we'll touch